Welcome to Sidetracked Garage. Today we're back to work on the 87 Yamaha Big Bear, putting the turbo on it, which makes this part 3 of the turbo Yamaha Big Bear. So if you haven't seen the other videos, go ahead and take a look at them. And for right now, I think we've got the fuel issues taken care of. It's being a little weird still, but I think we are getting somewhere with it. So I'm going to show you around this thing a little bit. Okay, so we got the turbo mounted up, everything's good there. Oil system, check. Booster reference to vent lines to the carburetor bowl, check. Now something kind of odd about these Yamaha carburetors is they've got an accelerator pump. Usually something like this wouldn't have that. So this arm right here, and then that works your accelerator pump. So the problem I'm having right now is boost pressure getting into the bowl, which that's what you want. But on this particular setup, it's pushing fuel back up through that, and it's coming rolling out. It ain't good. But I did find when you push this down and hold it down, it keeps fuel from coming out. I don't think we need an accelerator pump right now. So, if I can take a zip tie, wrap it around that right there, and hold that up, bring it out here somewhere, that might keep that down to where gas doesn't come out of it. So, I'm going to go ahead and give that a try. Alright, I couldn't find a zip tie, but I did find some welding wire. So, obviously, not going to leave it like this, just for testing. I want to keep that accelerator pump down like it is right now. And hopefully, maybe we can make this work. You might have saw last time, had the fuel pump on it, and this thing didn't like that. Had gas dumping out of it. It was terrible. Yeah, as usual, there's always kinks to be worked out. Maybe, possibly an issue. Also, could maybe be an issue. That's just tape. Known boost leak here. Take care of that. So, let's try to get that kink out. Maybe wrap a few layers of tape on that. Then we don't need this. That's a wastegate. They're wasteful. So, we're not going to do anything with that yet. Yeah, I think I just want to put some more tape on that. Eventually, I'm going to get something to actually go on there and not be weird like that. Okay, so it got out on its own power. That's promising. And it's making turbo noises. Loving that. So, we're going to try to do boosted launch because you got to, and load test, which is basically going to be the boosted launch, and then it's just, we're going to see how it rips, you know. And just keep in mind, nothing's really bolted down permanent like, so this might get exciting. That tank there for the oil, it leaks a little bit. It's not bad, don't worry about it. It doesn't leak, never mind. Okay, actually pretty excited about this right now. And then we got to get exhaust on it too, and an air filter, because this thing, it's just a hand going up and just going like that. So got to do something about an air filter. This thing might be pretty cool, or it's going to explode, one of the two. Okay, let's put that back in there. All right, I'm going to go get a seat. Be right back. All right, let's do a launch. Gotta get lined up. Okay, that wasn't bad. That's the best test I've had yet. You can hear that thing spooling. It sounds actually kind of mean. Alright, so I went ahead and did some off-camera testing and made a few little modifications. It works, but it's not easy to run, this thing. Alright, but the way I got it, let me just show you. Okay, so for one, 100% rips, but you can only run it with one hand because you have to kind of modulate the fuel pump with the other, and then just kind of prime it on off, on off, on off every couple of seconds, or if you're going full chooch, just all the way open. So I like to try to figure out how to make that fuel pump work, and to where it comes on when I need it and shuts off when I don't, without using this hand. I want to be able to steer with this hand. Let's just go ahead and try to rip it, and hopefully this goes better than the last test, and the test before that, and the test before that, and the test before that. kind of got a lot of smoke coming out of this thing. Not 100% certain on what that's all about. Could be overly rich, maybe. We could have destroyed the rings, or maybe the turbo seal went out. I doubt that very much. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's just extremely rich. Because right now it's got smoke rolling off of it. I think it's just rich. Because we're straight up dumping gas at full throttle. So, not real sure what to do with that. As right now we got fuel dripping off the bottom of the carburetor there. I need to get that fuel pump to work kind of intermittently without using my hand to turn it on and off. I don't know, I need to find out exactly how many PSI this is. Or actually, one thing I did think about was making this return, or make it a return style fuel system. But instead of having it to where it comes through the pump like that and then comes back out into the tank, it wouldn't exactly be a return, because it would, what I'm thinking is have a Y right there, go to the pump and to the carburetor, and then have this also go into the carburetor. What that should do is whatever excess is just gonna come in here, stop, come back. And then also when the pump's not on, then it should just run down to the carburetor. I'm not sure, saying that out loud, it's not making as much sense as it did in my head, but if we can just turn the pump on for when we're just wide open, full rip, that might work. Because then for idling and just, you know, moving around a little bit, I think just having it gravity feed would be fine. Then the other thing is, I think what makes this work so well is no pressure is going back up into the tank. I think that's what was getting us last time. Because I think the bowl was pressurizing, and then but that doesn't make a lot of sense either, actually, now that I think about it. I don't know how the pressure would get back up through the needle and into the fuel tank. I don't know, huh? But doing that with one hand, definitely, probably one of the top 10 sketchy things that I've done. Because, I mean, it's not like, you know, a 100 horsepower bike, you know what I mean? But for what it is and all the bump steers you get, only hanging on with one hand to the handlebar, that's sketchy. So we want to try to not have to do that, and I'm going to try to figure something out, hopefully get this thing working better, and really hoping it's not already blown up, because there's a chance it actually is. So probably going to get on that fairly soon. Don't know yet. We'll just have to see what happens. Okay, so after some testing, I decided probably need a fuel pressure regulator. Went ahead and got one of those. Got a boost gauge. It's an Equus. You remember, the people that know gauges. And here's the fuel pressure regulator. And that's all I got, and hopefully all I'm going to need. It's one of these kinds where you can kind of dial it in, you know. It's got a knob on it. You can go from 1 to 6, I think. I don't know. Didn't come with any constructions, but it did come with lines and fittings. So, I'm going to go ahead and get that slapped on there, and I'm pretty sure this is going to work. It worked perfectly with just a fuel pump switch. So, but I mean, you had to keep going on and off, on and off. And when you really laid into it, you could just leave the switch on. So, I think it's a 4-pound pump. So I'm pretty sure if we can get a half pound to a pound, get that cut back to about somewhere in there, I'm pretty sure this thing's going to work perfect. And it's going to burst into flames. I'm going to go ahead and get to it. I also got to make some flanges. I got a lot to do, so I'm going to go ahead and get on it. Alright, this thing's kind of come a long ways. So, got a new charge pipe set up, and had to cut that to get that to fit in there. Then, got to have chisel tip, because you just can't not, alright? So, I think everything is set up to where it probably won't fail as badly as it did the first time I tried this. Oh, got a boost gauge too. So, as long as that doesn't leak and it doesn't overfill the carburetor, this setup is going to work 100%. I'm going to go ahead and get testing now. Alright, let's initiate the startup procedure. Turn the fuel pump, or that's the oil pump, excuse me. Ignition. Where'd the fuel go? There it is, right there. It's primed. Well, I believe that could have went better. It did rip. I saw about, oop, there goes my oil. Hung on till just that right amount of time. And it is hot. So, it's not bad, but I did see about 5, maybe 6 pounds boost. I like that. But it still keeps cutting out for some reason. And also the oil tank wants to jump off. Oil cooler might be a good idea too, because this is really hot holding on to. It is working. I want to do some more testing. See what makes this thing work the best. Alright, so altogether, didn't do too bad. Thinking probably a blow off valve would be a good idea on this. I only really need like 2 pounds, and it's making 6, maybe possibly even 7. Gauge does a lot of that because it vibrates real hard, but it did do pretty good, I thought. A lot of smoke coming out of it. It seems like it's getting real hot. I don't know why. Well, I know why, but I don't like how hot it's getting. So I'm going to look into that too. So, I think that's about it, really. Because other than breaking up at high RPM, it did do pretty good. So, I'm going to get the boost dialed in. Need to do something about the oil tank, because that's leaking pretty bad. But I think that's going to be it for now. Thanks for watching. Go ahead and subscribe, and see you next time.